welcome back to another episode of The Road. Today we're on the road in eastern Utah. We're on the Highway 491, headed west as of now. Here in about 13 or so miles, we're going to be turning left, heading north on that Highway 191, I believe. And we're headed up to southern Idaho. So this is quite unusual for me to be going that far north and that far west, for that matter. So this is going to be interesting. I'm not sure if you guys recall a previous episode of The Road. I believe it was titled something like Going East or something along those lines. I actually was goofing around in Utah and Wyoming some. And I thought, man, there were so many nice mountains there. Why didn't I actually record and show you guys, take you guys along for the ride? So now I'm deciding I will. Unfortunately, really, I want to start a little bit earlier. I want to start a little bit on this side of Albuquerque, New Mexico, on that Highway 550. That's where the mountainous stuff kind of starts. The first thing you'll see is it almost looks like a giant spillway from a long distance away, and it looked very interesting to me. And of course, you going through that whole area and Colorado and that spot, you get mountainous and hilly terrain altogether. This is actually a little bit more mild and hilly than some of the other areas, but we're going to be hitting some big mountains. I'm not sure if you can see that one way up ahead. Not to mention, it sounds like, well, you know what, I'll have to save that for later. We'll see if that actually comes to fruition or not. So we'll see how all this ends up going. I would like to point out how they have a one-lane road at the bottom of a grade. Who thought this would be a great idea? Bottom is not technically correct. What on earth is that on the right side of the road there? I hope the camera angle is wide enough so you can see it. There was another one off to the left earlier, but man, that is unusual. That is very unusual. You gotta love these rock formations in Utah, and also you see some of those in western New Mexico as well. They're kind of all over well, I shouldn't say all over the place, but you can see them a few places. I think Utah is the most notably known for it. That is strange. There's a dirt road going to a hole in the side. Okay, yeah, that's weird. But wonder what's in there. Place. You see them doubles start running around, those Rocky Mountain doubles, and you know you're fixing to have some fun. Or at least I am. I love those doubles. Not the little itty bitty 28 footers you see flying around all over the place. The big ones. Big ones, yes sir. So we've officially transitioned into the cool area with all these rock formations and whatnot. The red rock. I love red / orange rocks. I also forgot to mention, you know, Arizona has a fair bit of this too. I don't get to see much of it. I hardly ever head that far west, like I said. And not to mention, you know what, I think some of those, what I call the Rocky Mountain doubles, were not exactly that. They may have very well been some kind of more specialty type thing running here in Utah, like 2 40-footers, because some of those, they were full size. They had like tandem axle trailer, tandem dolly, and then the second trailer was tandem, and one of them had 2 trailers that were both triple axles with a tandem axle dolly. There's a bit of a grade here. Seems like I'm not losing on this feller here in front of me, not too badly. Viewing area, popular. People like to see this stuff, and I do too. That brings up a bit of a topic. You know, I love driving all over the country. I say all over the country. I love driving around the country to various places. Like I said, I don't get around here much. Or out east, there's the Smoky Mountains or any of that stuff. It's not my usual area where we run, but I do enjoy going and seeing this stuff sometimes. And some people think, oh, it's just going to be great. You're going to see all this stuff if you drive a truck, and you do get to see stuff. It's just like those people back there. They all stop. Let's take pictures. Get the family out there and take pictures of everyone and that kinds of stuff. Unfortunately, here in a big truck, you have deadlines to meet, and you have all kinds of other factors working, like the hours of service and the 14-hour clock and whatnot. You generally, and I shouldn't even say generally, almost never. Now, I'm saying there could be different operations where you have more time, or where you're just overall more relaxed, or you might have some time to stop and smell the roses, but in general, you don't. You just gotta keep on rolling, keep that left door closed, and put the miles down. Hey, it's the Hole in the Rock. I remember this place. You guys are gonna get to hear a story here soon. Slowed it down. Come on, we're gonna be getting off here, that rest area here in just a minute. Interesting place. I hear some people were actually living in a bit of a cave here for a long time, and they kind of made it into a bit of a museum for those people. As I was trying to say earlier, they say that you won't really make it in the trucking industry if you're in it just to go and sightsee, because you can't. That's not really the way this works. Now this is where 13 speed shines. Normally on flat ground, let me close that a little ways. Normally on flat ground I have enough power to just shift whole gears until I get into 7th, and then I'll split that gear going up into 8th, and then top gear, double overdrive. Whereas here, going up a grade, I can split all the gears in high range instead of making those big jumps and trying to go uphill. So it's a huge plus, that 13 speed, especially in this kind of situation. Now an N14, a 5 1/4 N14 that can pull down 1400 RPMs, pretty decent. But I also can wind out to 2,000, maybe 2,100 RPMs. Would be one of the engines, if you had to have a 10 or a 9 speed, would be one of the engines I could handle it a little bit better because it has a bit wider of a power band. But going up a grade, there's still no beating 13 and 18 speed transmissions. They're really great to have. If you ask me, they're pretty much a necessity. Pulled out of Moab, Utah. Looks like a pretty cool little town. It's just there's an awful lot of RVs there, an awful lot of motorhomes and whatnot. So not my favorite town just yet, at least if I want to drive through in a big truck. But it seems like a lot of people like to vacation here and come and relax. And I can see why. The scenery's quite nice. and doubles around. Now that one that seemed to be just two 40-footers, I'm not sure if that was the case. It might have been 36s, or maybe I just did not look close enough. Maybe he's running less weight, I don't know. Or less weight in each trailer to end up with that setup. I really couldn't tell. But we are now on the I-70 headed west. The speed limit is 80 miles an hour. I'm running 80 miles an hour. Trying to make up a little bit of time from all that construction and all the RVs and whatnot over there in the Moab area. So we're going the speed limit instead of 70 miles an hour, which is what I have been doing for the past couple of weeks, or last week I should say. Trying to see what exactly will affect fuel economy. Now, we'll be coming up on Green River, Utah here in, I don't know what it would be, about 6 miles or so. And the story I mentioned earlier, well, you know what, it has to be probably 11 or more years ago. Yeah, 11, possibly 12 years ago. This truck used to belong to my dad. Well, it did until a little while ago. I guess, surprise number one, I became an owner of. I decided to buy this truck off my dad, but as I was trying to say, about 10 years or 11, 12 years ago, I was riding with him. We were headed for, I think, someplace near Salt Lake City. I'm not all that sure where exactly we were headed, but we were headed west on the I-70. We took pretty much the same route. We stopped at the hole in the rock. We took basically the same route I just took here. And unfortunately, what happened was on that big, the long pole, we're not going to go over that stretch today, unfortunately. Me and that mountain have a score to settle, but it's not going to happen this time. And the reason we have a score to settle is because 11 or so years ago, we were headed up that grade, and it was a hot day. I think it was summertime, and it just kept getting hotter. The engine kept getting hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. And the high temperature warning buzzer and check fluid lights began to come on. And the fan just couldn't keep up. And all of a sudden the engine protect all at once. Bam! We're on the side of the road. It may have shot a little bit of coolant out of the coolant overflow tank. And fired up a minute or two later, and or I'm not sure how long later, it seemed to have a bit of a clicking type sound. And a few seconds, maybe a minute or so after it running like that, I believe the correct term, I'm not sure what the term would be, but I believe it spun a rod bearing, and the engine was freshly rebuilt at the time. And it made a horrible blah 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 type sound. And quickly turned the key off, and the engine was locked. And that was the end of the story. Well, not really the end of the story, but you know what I'm saying. So what ended up happening was, luckily there was a friend nearby who could take the trailer and go deliver the load. And we had to get the truck towed back to Green River. And then later on hauled back with a friend on a friend's truck on his flat or step deck trailer. And Dad had another truck at that, or a different, well, he doesn't have that truck anymore. Regardless, he had to go back and get the trailer from wherever it ended up at that point and bring the truck back. And it turns out what the cause of this was, it was the oil thermostat. These N14s, I'm not sure which Cummins engines or which engines in general have this oil thermostat. I think the ISX does as well, but it was stuck halfway closed. Now, these small pulls that I've been dealing with all day didn't get the oil temperature too hot, Of course, it's winter time now, then it was summer. And unfortunately, Dad was not watching the oil temperature gauge. It just got hotter and hotter and hotter. And well, I'm back now. Dispatcher has questions and news for me. Regardless, as I was saying, where was I exactly? Spun rod bearings, stuck oil thermostats. Yeah, the oil temperatures got way too hot, and seems to have engine failed, couldn't handle a high oil temperature. And it seems that we have somewhat of a similar situation going on now. It's running, from what I hear, this engine is running at the kind of the extremes. You know, it can get up to 230 degrees on a hot day, the oil temperature, if you're pulling for quite a ways. And also, we're kind of at the minimum oil pressure, which is about 32 psi oil pressure under normal operating conditions. So we're kind of pushing the limits. It's been 900,000 miles since then. It's been 900,000 miles, so it's been quite a while. The engine was out of frame. They needed a new crankshaft because of that. So a new crank was installed. Unfortunately, the block was not resurfaced, so now we had these head gasket issues, and the next time the engine needs to come out, it's going to for sure need to be full out of frame and have the block surfaces resurfaced and all that good stuff. So I think she should still have a good bit of life in her as far as the cylinder kits, not making a whole lot of blow-by. So not drinking too much oil, still leaking some. We had, it was leaking pretty bad out of the back of the oil pan. We had that worked on, so that seems to have worked. Now it's leaking a little bit out of the front main seal, but it's not nearly as bad. So that's good. And also, I mentioned in the previous video with the N14 top end issues video, how, oh dear, more construction, how the number 4 piston actually looked a little bit better. And if you might recall, I'm not sure if I said it or not, but it turns out the number 4 cylinder head, or the injector cup for the number 4 cylinder was bad after we changed the head gasket. I bet you it wasn't quite 100% before then either, because that piston looked a little bit better, a little cleaner, and also it was slowly losing coolant, but you couldn't really tell where. So that's there's that. So I think that's why the piston might have looked a little bit cleaner, because it was getting a little bit of coolant and washing itself all the time. All right, well, it looks like I need to worry about this construction. Well, when I got off of the I-70, you'd see some of the cliffs similar to this one, only they look like they might be several hundred or possibly even 1,000 feet high. You really don't know how you would even try and scale. Of course, they build a highway in an opportunistic type place. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm here in Price now, or going around Price, Utah. It looks like we may have to cut into these things, go up or over, or whatever needs to happen. Well, the remainder of this trip headed for Salt Lake City as of now. We're probably going to shut down near there this evening. We'll see how these grades will end up going. These mountains, hills, whatever you want to call them, cliffs. Who cares? The trip up until where I got off of the I-70 was kind of I don't want to say almost predictable. I talked to some guys and said, oh, well, there's not too many big or tough grades over there. But we'll see how things are here up ahead. We'll see if we're going have some really steep stuff. I hope it stays 4-lane. That would make my day, but I really doubt it. That way I could crawl up or down the hills and I wouldn't have to worry too terribly much about the other vehicles and holding them up. It did not stay 4 lanes, but they do have passing lanes now and then. Just kind of got a ways out of town. We're spending a lot of time down in direct. Oh great, they raised the speed limit from 55 to 60. Spending a lot of time down in direct, pulling. It's going uphill quite a ways. Also a little bit of downhill, nothing extreme so far. Let's hope the curves reflect the new speed limit. No, it doesn't look like it. What's the sign say? 55. Okay, well that's slightly better. It's times like these where you've got these high mountains so very close to you that I wish I had just like a glass roof or like a sunroof or just like a whole dome for a windshield and a top of the truck, you know? I am usually the kind of person that likes older, small window trucks. That helps keep the sun out when it's hot in the summer, and then cut that down some more yet with drop visors and chop tops and whatnot, to where you have plenty of shade. And I think it looks really cool too. But when you're in these mountains, hey, see, here we go. Oh, was that? Yeah, that actually was another Rocky Mountain double. There's another, I'm not sure what that would be called, but there's two 40 or 48 foot trailers, probably not 48, maybe just 45s, that you can pull. I've seen a few of those now, the double full-size trailers running around, usually belly dumps and whatnot. But you see end dumps, tankers, of course vans, and belly dumps, of course, in this Rocky Mountain double quite a bit. The two full-size doubles, I'm not sure what the official term on those are and why you only see a certain amount of them, and why they're mostly, from what I've seen, just belly dumps. But who knows? Yeah, like I was saying, it's sometime would be really nice to be able to look up at towards the tops of these mountains. And as I was saying, the road seems to have taken a more opportunistic way through the mountains here. We're right next to the river, of course, and so has the train, the rail tracks in there as well. Can't remember, what was it, 50 some odd miles, probably, no, not even 50 miles, probably closer to 40, that it was going to be to the I-15. Things just smooth out a good bit from there. That way we have hopefully a little more passing lane action, maybe not quite so much curves. Oh, road work yet. Is that a full-size one? Yeah, that was two full-size trailers. And here's you have the normal 28-footers that you see all over the place. Okay, it looks like they may have been bluffing about the whole road work thing. It's hard to tell. That passing lane right here, come on, another Rocky Mountain double. That looks like a lot of fun to me, pulling a Rocky Mountain or even the full-size doubles. Maybe one of these years, but that's going to be a ways out. Well, turns out I was wrong before. It was a little further to the I-15 than he thought. Now I'm about always when I want to record, right? And you gotta slow down for a curve. Regardless, I'm about 26 or so miles away till I get on that I-15. And of course I went up that side, and it was about 5,000 some odd feet in elevation before over in what was the place called? And I can't remember now. I'll put it in there. 5,000 some odd feet elevation, above 7,000 at the top and headed back down to some degree. We're still heading down. There was their sign said 3 to 5% grade. All right, and the curves were pretty much mostly marked at 50 miles an hour. I dropped all the way down into a half under direct, what I would call 7th with a splitter to the rear, so split down, and then what most people would call 10th on a 13 speed. So there you go. Okay, here's the road work they were telling me about. But in that gear, with the Jakes on stage 3, it kept the speed right at 50 miles an hour, sometimes 51, 52, but that worked really well. And so that was actually pretty smooth sailing. I was expecting quite a bit worse. Now, I would say that was about a 5-mile long grade. Now, I'm 79-ish thousand pounds, and the Cummins motor has really strong Jake brakes. Everyone says, man, that N14 has good Jake brakes. And I have to agree. It did really well. Thankfully, that grade is a hair more gradual. It wasn't too extreme. It wasn't all that steep, so that was good. That was actually quite nice. Now here comes a dilemma of mine. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing, because this video could get pretty long if I try and do this and then the next haul in here, because it's all well, and it could be also coming back, so there's going to be mountains as well, probably a different way. So I'm not sure if I want to make this 2 parts, or if I want to make it only one long video. I guess we will see, huh? Just look at this scenery. Hope you can see the snow on the top of that mountain there up ahead. Big canyon to our left. Well, it was bigger before. Now it's actually not that deep. I certainly hope. I can't help but wonder, what elevation is that snow at? What's the snow line? Because I most certainly hope I'm not going anywhere near that high on this trip. Let's drop a half gear. We might get better brakes. Well, good morning, guys, or good night, maybe I should say. We are nearing our destination. We are in Idaho, near Burley, Idaho, and we're going to try and drop off this load. Hopefully it won't take too long, and you know what, I think I am going to split this into 2 episodes, try and keep them a little on the shorter side. Hopefully it won't bore you guys too badly. I will try and upload the 2 parts, the 2 episodes, the next episode, in somewhat rapid succession, so I won't leave you guys hanging too bad. And I hope to see you guys back here then. So until next time, just remember that God is awesome. Drive safe, listen to what your engine tells you, and have a good one.